Well, welcome everybody. It's wonderful to see you. New friends, old friends, newer friends, and older friends. And it's great to have you here on our monthly community call. And this one's a very special one for us because we're going to be talking about what we're going to be doing this year for the gathering of this year. It was quite interesting for me as we were going back to look at what we've been doing over the past 6 years, because we started thinking about this. The very first gathering was actually held in September, and we're going back to September. And so this is going to be sort of a back to the future for us as well. So I'm going to share,
Harvesting time.
pardon?
Harvesting time.
Yeah, sort of, but let me see. Now here we go. I'm going to share to see if this works. And I'm going to tell, did it work? Oh, thank goodness. It wasn't working before.
Yes.
So the title for this coming year has come beyond the visible, from outer space to inner space. And what we're very excited is to really think about the forces that are defining the next century are already at work. Some of us know it, some we don't. And many of these we cannot see, we can feel, we kind of hear about them, but we don't necessarily could really deeply understand them. And so they're profoundly consequential for us. And so our idea is we're literally going to go from outer space to inner space. And so today we're going to go through a little bit about how we got to this sixth year, a bit about the program, what the journey is going to be for those who participate. There are a little bit about our speakers that we can, those we can reveal, how to engage with us, and we encourage you to join. Then if you have questions, please pop them into chat and the team will curate them and pull them to us. So I think Andreas and Kenny, I think you two were the only ones who came to the first year. Did you? Were you at the first year, Andreas, or no? No. So I don't think anyone on the
No.
call was the first year. It's just Janelle and me and Kenny. So the first year we held was in 2021, and I wanted to put in these masks because it was right after COVID. If also remember the Zoom world we lived in for a while. So it was the first meeting that most of those who attended had been at. It was the first conference where they had left their families after this COVID time. And of the 100 people we chose to be there, I think 98 are them what we called the FOC club, which was the Friends of Chris. Because people kept asking, why are you here? Oh, I'm a friend of Chris. Oh, I'm a friend of Chris. And so it was really delightful. But what we realized that was not really going to be sustainable just to only have friends of Chris coming. So that was the only year where it was really that many. And in each of these images, I'm trying to show some of the things we've taken because every year, Janelle and I and the design team have rethought what we want to do and how we want to do it. So there has never been a rinse and repeat. And so we felt that this very collegiality, the good furniture was very important. The second year, after the first year was a focus on mountain communities, the second year was a focus on the future of water, the essence of life. And so we had musicians. We had here Natasha, who took a sailboat across the Pacific with a women's team, captaining the women's team to look at plastic in the oceans. We had Ernst Bromais, who was in the middle, he has swum the Rhine River from its source lake, literally all the way to its mouth, and shared that experience and different aspects of water, including individuals from camps and etc. We also had the most amazing experience of a class of one of our 2040 community members, Thomas Biasotto, come and surprise us. Well, we kind of knew it, but the participants did not know. And he surprised us by leading workshops, by singing a song which they had drafted and sang to us. And when they were kind of working with us during their time with us, about an hour and a half, at the end of it, we all had to do pinky promises about something. The promise about promise about water, promise that we weren't going to turn the water off when you brush your teeth or when you're shaving, or try to be more conscious. And it was very profoundly powerful at this instance to have not just like the next generations. We've always had multiple generations. It's always been important for us. But here, the young, this is a fourth grade class, and it was really, really beautiful. Then the next year, 2023, the theme was regeneration. This is a theme which Janelle and I started at Arup, and Janelle finished an amazing work on regenerative cities, regenerative urbanism. And so something that's also very close to her and our hearts. I'm trying to understand what does regeneration and transformation mean and how does it start? We try to integrate nature in everything that we do and be very conscious of where we are. And so we started off here moving now to La Punt. We left the top, the mountain resort of the Vice Arena Group and went to the beautiful Engadine Valley. And in the middle of La Punt, we built a tent village, which you can see one image there of of all the participants in the middle of the tent village. We also walked up to Guardaval and had an incredibly powerful opening evening with John Moore describing the loss of his son due to climate change and rock fall coming off the Eiger after they completed their climb. And so we started off with what does regeneration mean for each of us and how do we go through that? Then the next year we started, Janelle and I decided we wanted to do a 2-year program where it's called Envisioning Tomorrow, Tomorrow Envisioned, because when we're using foresight, we're trying to think about what the futures, and say plural, can be, could be, and how we then backcast to make those things real. And so this is one the 2-year thing. And here again, you see the middle of La Punt with our little tent village. One of our partners is the Lyceum, so the next generation, a little bit, not the fourth grade, but the next grade up, and we went up to the Lyceum and heard an incredible presentation, play by the students and music by the students, and we had a dinner there, and it was the very first vegan meal ever to be served in the Lyceum in Suats. And so we're quite proud of that because our one of our things with our food in La Punt is it's always vegan, presented by James Barron, our Michelin chef. And so Lyceum had to step up to, not just vegetarian, but vegan. So, and it was kind of cool. You can also see here on the bottom left, the character cards, because we believe that, and as we're looking at the work we're doing, as we continue to work, we have to focus more and more and more on place, on neighborhoods, because waving your hands, talking about the big we, hasn't worked for the past 45 years. So now we really need to focus and flip it around to the me and how we change this me and the we together. This Zusammenbinden between between the very local community placemaking. So here we have characters that were from the place, and it was quite it was quite fun. And so the second year of 2025 was Tomorrow Envisioned, where we created the stories. What are these stories going to mean? And we've been working on making these stories into, they were presented orally, and now we're turning those into stories, which we'll be publishing here within the next months, which are really very powerful stories about the characters that are natural, human, and built, right? Because human-centered is what's gotten us to the problem now. And if you only talk about nature, that puts us outside of nature, and we always kind of ignore the built environment which we require to live in. And so one of the things that we think when we're looking at this arc, it has been 2 years up in Lax and now 3 years in La Punt, and our partner locally has been the Inn Hub. The Inn Hub is a massive building site at the moment. It's lots of concrete being poured into the basements, and so now we're going to be moving our location again up to Pontresina. The thing that we love is to engage global audience around positive and courageous futures. We like these two words, especially the courageous future, because as we see what we're facing politically, climate, etc., it is courage, which we need probably more than anything, right? Positivity, hope, yes, but courage to make the decisions which we need to be making. And so for 2026, Janelle, what we got going for 2026?
Thank you, Chris. So, to briefly introduce myself, because I think we kind of just jumped right in.
Oh,
Chris
sorry
and
about that.
I don't know, we didn't introduce you either. For anybody who's new on the call, Chris and I co-founded Your 2040 together. I'm Janelle. You guys know he's Chris by now. Um, and then two of our team are also here, and you'll see them more in the Q&A at the end. But just so you at least know who I am. So thank you, Chris. I think one thing to add to the overview that Chris just gave about the history of your 2040 is what we've done in all five of the last few years is we had really three main pillars of activities. One we call dialogues, which are stage talks from experts. You can leave
Go
the
ahead.
you can leave the PowerPoint on.
No, no. Now we can see you big.
One is workshops, which are basic. We've done it in different formats every time, but we always have curated time for people to go work together in group work. And then one is community. So we always have both formal and informal versions of networking because it's important for us to make time for all of you who attend to get to know each other. And so those elements are all staying this year, but we're going to be tweaking them a bit. So we've always had these three key elements: networking, workshops, dialogues, just for simplicity's sake. And so now coming to the 2026 program, and we have decided to shake things up a bit and kind of change our format. And the biggest difference is we still have all those elements, but we've decided to redesign the 3 days so that they are customizable and kind of designed in a way that works for each and every one of you. So each participant can sort of plan their own journey. And so by doing that, we've kind of focused each day on one of the different elements. So day one is around stage dialogues. So most of the dialogues and kind of the content knowledge work will be those days. That's not. Day two is around workshops. And so the workshops are going to go on the back of all the themes from day one, but there'll be deep dives with speakers and people that work with them and like kind of experts in this industry to really go deeper into what like 2 hour breaks of time with these experts. And we'll go into depth on that in a few minutes. And then the last 2 days, days three and four, we're calling the Transformers group. And that's really around introspection, reflecting, and spending more quality time together in small groups. And I think to add to this, the framework that we're using, if you see on the screen, is called What, So What, Now What? And so this is something we've used in Foresight for a while. I know Chris used it before I met him, but the kind of framework is really around what. So first you learn about what is this thing, what is the knowledge, what is whatever you're learning about. So what? I also think of kind of the why, but it's like, so what? So why are you learning this? Why is it important? How do you use it? And then now what is now that you've learned all of these things, what do you do about it? What do you take forward and how do you make action?
Yep.
So,
Very good. And the key thing, the key thing is, when we first came out of COVID, everyone was happy to spend 3, 4 days together. But now we find that individuals have really, our lives have become more fractured and our attention span has been a bit tougher. So we've also taken on this feedback. We've heard for the past couple of years, hey, Chris, we love your stuff. Hey, Janelle, we love your stuff, but could we just come for a day? If I come for 2 days, we've always said no, but now we're saying yes. And so on day one, we're going to be in Pontresina in Rondo in the large auditorium with about 200 to 300 people. On day two is going to be 100, and only those who wish to stay for 100, you have to apply for that. And day three, only 20, 25 people. And so the idea is that you can then decide how much time you want to spend. And if you really want to spend the weekend with a small peer group to kind of think about what does this mean for me? And what am I going to do? Or if you need to get back to your family, or if you want to, do something else. So it's really, we're trying to really respect what we've heard from others, to take that feedback on. Yeah. And so a little bit more about day one with the what. As we said, we have stage dialogues and music. Is from the very beginning, music has been a very big part of this because nature gives us music all by herself. But we've also liked to incorporate local and international music. And then we also have Jeffersonian dinners. I'm going to go into each one of those a little bit more. The stage dialogues are hosted conversations where will be three people on stage, each one person will be representing planet, person sort of people, and the other place. So these three character sets. And so trying to, and our mindset for us, these three things. They're conversations which are, the idea of each of these hours is to have us a chance to go in deep with each one, with their topic. And again, outer space, inner space, but also we interact with the audience. It's not like TED where it's not a video audience. It's more like where we actually have time for individuals to ask questions, and we build this in is quite important. And then the five dialogues which we're having during the day. The first, we go from outer space, planetary patterns. So we have three individuals who are going to be talking about looking at remote sensing. This is an archaeologist, and someone who looks at nature, and then someone who's looking at human patterns, all from satellite data. So from outer space looking to outside in. And what can be revealed, because you and I can't see this just here from Earth, but we can look at it when we have this help of the artificial eyes, which are up above. And then, so these beyond the visible, it's emanating around us from the ground level up. And so these are things which are human interaction, right? There are many things which happen between us as humans, which are beyond the visible, or buildings which create emissions and emanate things that you and I cannot see because our eyes do not have the spectrums which would help us see the infrared or the other kind of patterns. And then, or how insects talk with plants, and bees dance and talk and make jokes with each other. And so it's all these very interesting things at sort of above ground level. Then they're called the whispers beneath us. And this is, for me, it's super interesting, more and more about the mycelium and how trees and bushes and everything are communicating underneath our feet, or also the things which are required underneath our feet in our cities, in our villages, the pipes, the underground movements of water, electricity, information, and trying to reveal these. I've kind of a brilliant guy, Greg's going to brilliantly expose what we didn't know, what's below us. And then we're coming up to 10. And this year, we're going to be taking 10 selected projects, startups, or ongoing projects, which we'd like to share remarkable projects on stage, each one about 5 minutes, to be curated to share what's beyond the visible. Again, to these special projects there. And the final one, called as vital currents, are coming into our inner space. And it's our heart, our soul, our spirituality, the things which are inside of us, which again, we cannot see, but we know are there. For example, one of our speakers is Dr. Ann Ertz from the Novartis Foundation is going to talk about the difference between male and female DNA, and just how what we can learn from just at the DNA, or Regula Kurti talking about the spirituality, talking with the spiritual master, and what happens when that human touches your inner being, and it changes you. It's not just a myth, it is actually very real. And so and these dialogues are going to go, and then these individuals will be with us, some of them, for on Friday. Now, as I said, music is going to be extremely important for us. It has always been here. You see two of our artists that have joined us, and this year is not going to be any different. We have a wonderful Juilliard musician who is going to be creating three special piano concerto pieces for us to the theme of Beyond the Visible. He's a Rachmaninoff scholar, a Juilliard student, and he's just graduating now. And he's going to be doing that and playing that for us. And in between the different pieces, he's going to be joining us this year. And finally, day one concludes with Jeffersonian dinners. And these are where you have a small group between 8 and 12, and you have a dinner, but you have one conversation after you kind of get going. There's one conversation at the table, and it's hosted. And so you're all sharing in that one conversation, not the three people here, two people there. And those will be also hosted by either the speakers or some of our partners. And so you can be able to sign up for one of these dinners. And to me, I'm super excited about those. At the House of Beautiful Business, we had these for different themes, and we were assigned. We weren't, you didn't get to choose, but it was also quite beautiful. I'm a huge fan of these and really excited about that. They're quite intimate. And so that's going to be the conclusion of day one. And then day two.
Day two is really going to be all about the workshops. You can go to the next one. And we'll talk about the barbecue. But as Chris kind of went through all of the different sub themes of our Beyond the Visible theme, the day two workshops will follow on those same kind of tracks. The intention is that each one of the speakers, either they will stay or somebody from their team will stay and they will be designing workshops that are about 2 hours. So the day will be, say, about three. You'll have the choice to pick three different workshops that you really want to go to. And they'll be designed and curated by the hosts. And so it'll be a kind of a variety of activities, might from a round table to like pro forma led, maybe some acting. It's going to depend a little bit on the content and the people, but we're really excited about this because I think it'll be a lot of fun and an opportunity to just learn more about subjects that you're interested in.
Mhm. It's also something which participants have asked us. "Hey, we'd love to have one more time with those speakers. Could we just like sit down, talk with them for a couple hours?" I said, well, do that in the evening. Yeah, but that's not the same, you know. That's it.
I think the other key difference, which we mentioned earlier, is day one was designed for around 300 people. Day two is going to be closer to 80. So we have a smaller group of people that stay with us as we go.
Yeah.
And then we end that day with a community barbecue. We've done this almost every year. It's always
Yep.
nice to kind of be out in nature near the river, watch the sunset over the mountains. And it's also, the food comes from the Michelin chef. So it's very good
Yeah.
barbecue.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just amazing. And days 3 and 4 are really designed, as we said right at the very beginning, to go inside, from insights to action. And not everyone's ready to do this, to kind of, lots of people just want to keep going, 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 going. And we found over the years that there's a certain number of individuals who really just want to take a deep breath. It's like, wow, I need to think about this. I need some space before I go home. I'd like to have some space to just kind of think, what am I going to do? What does this mean for me? And so we're designing with two of our Year 2040 community members these 2 days. It'll be forest walking. It'll be really intense dialoguing in small groups as you choose. And because La Punt is in a perfect place to walk either in the forest or walk in the fields. And at this time of year, hopefully, it should be just a perfect time to go for a beautiful walk. This lake, and we can get around, walk up to Guardaval, look at the sky, and think about this. And also, for those who are with us on that Saturday, we'll have a wonderful fine dining experience with James there in the Corona Hotel, and it's one of these, like, 6 course meals. It blows your socks off. And and again with us, it's always for these. It's always vegan, and it's you never know. You have no idea that it's. I'm not vegan per se, but I love it, and it's like I don't. It's just great food, and that's what's the sign of a chef, and not just a cook. He's a great chef, and so for those who are foodies, it's also part of it. And then we'll end with also a picnic on Sunday in the Chiesa Merleta, in the stable of the Chiesa Merleta, which is an incredibly beautiful object there in La Punt. And so you can see food, music, time are all very important for us. And because we respect our bodies as we want to respect our brains and our hearts. And here are some of the speakers. The top row I can reveal to all of you now. Some of them, they don't want to have their names out there yet. But Ann Aerts, she's the CEO of the Novartis Foundation. Cynthia, she's the CEO of the Innovation Foundation. Greg's the CEO of the Bentley Labs. Regula Corti, CEO of Beyond Foundation. Here's the musician Kieran Tellian, and Arno Schluchter. He's the head of the Future Cities Lab. And these are those 6 who I can tell you now. And Indy He was trying to shift some things, Suzanne as well in Parag. So they all want to come, but they haven't been able to shift a few things yet. And they're amazing. All of them are amazing humans, and we're just grateful for them that they come. And then the others will be able to share with you in about 2 weeks to come.
We'll share them as they are confirmed.
Okay. Like in 2 weeks or so. Yeah. So the participant journey, we'll come back to that. For those of you, I see Wolfram has joined us and Ciao Wolfram. And those of you who've been with, Angela's been with us, we in the past, it's always been, everyone's been there the entire time, and so this is very different. We just want to reiterate how different this is.
So we've now gone over all of the depths with you, and now we're going to zoom kind of back out a little bit. And so as we both explained kind of day 1, 2, and 3. If it's not clear, I just wanted to clarify that these days all build on each other. So for example, you cannot come to day 3 and 4 if you weren't part of days 1 and 2, and same, you can't come to day 2 if you weren't part of day 1. And so that's part of the growth or the shrinking of numbers is making the group progressively tighter, progressively more a community of trust, progressively more, kind of tight-knit community that keeps doing things together afterwards.
Yep.
And this is just a little bit of an overview of some of the different types of people who've been with us over the years. So I think we've done this, 6 years now? So we have 400 or 500 people that have participated. And that's just to say what we're really proud of is we've always curated as much as we can for diversity. So we've always had an application to accept people, and we use that also to help make the group one of quality and hopefully one that people want to keep coming back to. So for example, we usually have 50-50 males and females and other. Then diversity of ages. So I think 1 year we even had someone bring a 6-month-old baby up until people in their early 80s. We have at least 26 different people from different countries who've joined us. And we have no idea how many industries at the end of the day, but hundreds, I think. And so what I always say is, if you are looking for somebody from almost any industry, they've joined us. We've had oyster farmers, we've had CEOs, we've had bankers, we've had teachers, we've had family office, people who run family offices, we have artists.
Architects, engineers,
And so
spacecraft designers.
that's always one of the biggest, I think, values to us and the people who've joined in the past is you get the opportunity to really talk to people from a broad spectrum of backgrounds. And how to engage. So we have 3 different ways you can engage with us this year. One, we hope all of you want to be participants and join us. But the other 2 that we're making, I guess, a bit more public this year is partnership and sponsorship. So we have lots of we've had various partners over the years that we work with, from things like marketing and communications to sharing goods and services. And then also sponsors who donate money or some other type of exchange. And I'm just saying that because if anybody is interested, please reach out. I'm happy to chat with you more in depth about that. And again, I hope you all want to join us in September.
Absolutely. And also, if you'd like to sponsor one of the dinners, we're looking for dinner sponsors. That would be very helpful for us, So, and so, one of the things that we believe and we like, a change happens at the rate of trust. This is Steve Covey's book. He's made quite famous. This is an excellent book, an excellent slogan. And trust is built in person. It's being able to hold hands, to hug, to look each other in the eye, to walk next to each other, to cry, to laugh, to just break bread or tofu or whatever it is you want to break. And this is for us extremely important. And when we take this quite seriously and curate that experience, and we really do think of every 15 minutes, as Janelle said, we're not to drive you from A to Z, but to make sure that we're respecting your investment in your life and your time with us. And this we take very seriously, and I know those who have been with us can confirm this. This is something we really believe in. And we're extremely grateful to be in the Engadine Valley. It is a stunning place to be. And we're grateful of our partners there with Mia and Jadina and the Inn Hub and the citizens of Lapunt Chamwesh and Samaden and Tsuats. And it's been quite phenomenal for me personally to be up there. And you just feel different. And I really say that. It really does feel different. And I like it. It's a good difference, you know. And we feel that it's unique. Our gatherings are unique. We have many people tell us that. As Janelle writes there, they're small enough to know each other, but bold enough to have conversations that matter. Right. And we really do believe that. And this is something we strive for. And why each year we try to recreate, because change is constant. And therefore we have to adapt each year to the changes around us. And so this is what we've done for this year as well. We're excited to be in Pontresina. It's another cute little town. So we're very excited about that.
And lastly, on this one is this QR code takes you directly to our website. As it says on the screen, we're going to open applications this year in June. They are not public yet, so you haven't missed them. And on the website, we have somewhere where you can sign up for early access. So our intention is to reach out to everybody who's I guess what's like a save the date kind of thing. To everybody who's pre-signed up, we will reach out first to open the applications to you. And so that code will take you there. If you don't have a phone or anything, you can just go to the website. It's on the front page. It just says 2026.
So I think that's going to stop sharing and come back to the group. I hope that gives you a bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. And we'd love for your questions or comments. And don't be shy. Ik ga Duits vragen. Ik ga English vragen. Angela, you've got to have a grin. And Cena's got a grin. What do you think?
Uh, so thank you first of all to tell like what you're planning. It sounds interesting and exciting. Um, the question I had when I was listening is how do I decide in advance on the 4 days or the 2 days or the one day? Um, that is not yet like fully clear to me. Like
Fair.
if after the 2 days and the workshops, I said, oh, I need so much more, but I only registered for the 2 days, and but now I want to go deeper. Can I stay or?
So great question, Angela. And we've, we,
I'm going to jump. Just
go ahead, Janelle. I will always say
I'll
yes,
tell
but
you what our intention is. Now, what happens on site may be different, but part of the reason we've done it this way is just because we are moving to different locations and they have different capacities. So that's part of it. There will be just less capacity on the last day because we're in a different space, whereas the first day is in a 300-person space. I would probably say, obviously, if one or two people want to stay, I am sure we will find a way. If we had like 50 people want to stay, I don't think we'll be able to do that.
yeah. No, I think Angela, I mean, that would be the ideal scenario that you would say, hey, Chris, this was
Mm,
so awesome. I'd love to take the time. And so we will soft plan for that, frankly.
mm, mm.
But we have to do our financial planning and our, with James so the challenge is with James, it's literally fine dining, right? So he has to order the food ahead
Yeah.
of time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there's certain things which we can do and can't do. And James has certain things which he can offer that's special for us, and then there's things which he has, if you will, that he can whip up,
Hmm.
like his pear ravioli, which are to die for, right? And those things he can kind of whip up. And if we have 30 instead of 20 that's doable. But as Janelle said, if we have 50, it's no longer the doable. Yeah,
Of course.
yeah, yeah. Great question. Thank you.
Like Chris said, we hope that if you came to two, you want to stay more. That would be nice. Feedback.
Yeah. So, what do you think? I'm gonna put you on the spot, Sam. You're next.
Yeah. I love it.
Sorry, I missed that conversation, but it sounds all really good. I'm really happy about all of this.
Thanks, Dean. Hope you
Yeah,
can make it. I got your note.
I'm trying my best.
Yeah.
I have a
Got you.
question, Chris and Janelle. I'll seed the question deck. Who do you think would be the best fit this year to join the transformative cohort that's going to be joining all 3 days and workshopping at the end? Are you looking to expand into any industries or ages or student mentors? Who might get the most out of the full programming this year?
That's a really great question. So for me, I think that would be for individuals who might be at a point where they're trying to decide A, B, or C, right? And sort of like I think there's off the cuff. I haven't really thought of this, Emily, but one would be those who are trying to decide. Okay, I've been doing this, and now I'm trying to decide if I should be doing that or should we go there. So it's like A, B, C. So I mean, it's A, B, C, trying to like at a point in their life. The second is for those who are really thinking, how can I make greater impact in what I'm doing? Right? Where they just need, because I know when, and in theory, I'm retired now, but I'm still doing all the same stuff, except not the management meetings on Monday. And I barely have time to slow down, stop and say, okay, I'm going to take 2 days and just think about what am I going to do? What should I do? What do I want to do? What do I need to do? What's the right thing? What is my life telling me that I should be doing now? And to me, that's the second group who could or should be there, who might not have the time when they go back home to be able to take that, right? And it's a gift to yourself to do that in a curated way, because regular we'll be doing some meditation, and those who wish to be doing yoga and really trying to think of just it's really centered and strength.
The third category I'd add to Chris is people who want to, if you want to build a deeper connection with other people who are also either actively or trying to make change. I mean, I don't know if you guys have done this, things like this, but spending 2 days with 25-ish people, you get really close.
Yeah, it's a good one to know. Thank you. Sina, you're about to say something. I'm going to put you back on the spot.
Yeah. No, I'm honestly very inspired by the program, and like I really think the topics are super interesting. I wish it was September already. And
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, I hope I can be there. I don't really have a question. I think I'm just very much looking forward to it.
Good. Well, that's wonderful. Well, thank you. I appreciate that as well. Very, very much so. Sam, what about you? And there are those who don't have their cameras on. I see your name, so you're not going to escape. All right.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, similar feeling as Sina, I guess. So very excited to especially learn more about a more detailed program, maybe in order to decide whether one day will be enough, probably not, or what the other days will be offering. But sounds very promising. Thank you for initiating that.
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm excited about the program. I really am. So, and I'd love for it to be able to be for 300 people for 4 days, but, we'll see what happens. So, Wolfram, you've been with us for a number of years. Was denkst du, mein Lieber? This is an amazing Holst engineer here. He's
I
incredible.
think it's a very interesting development in the program.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering how much I will be able to to participate. It's always a balance between family and kids and being
Yeah.
in the anchor team.
Yeah.
So for me, I think it's interesting and the chance is higher to be there.
Hmm. Good. I'm glad to hear that. I really do, because you were one of the people we had in mind with trying to change the program that you could come for the time you can come.
Hopefully 2 days.
I hope to do is, yeah. I hope so too. That's great. Any of those? So Nadia, you're there hiding away. Mary. Uh-oh.
Hi there.
Hi.
Yeah, not hiding exactly, but thinking more. So I'm new to the community.
Mm-hmm.
I
Welcome.
know Kinney. Yes, thank you. So I would like to have the QR code again, if that's
Mm-hmm.
okay. I would like to read more and understand more because obviously I haven't interacted much with your organization before.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, I'm trying to understand what
Sure.
what is involved and what is the angle and
Sure.
how people operate in what space,
Yeah.
mind space rather.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, personally, I'm interested from from just what you mentioned, that it is good for people that are in some kind of crossroads,
Mm-hmm.
trying to make a decision, one way or
Yep.
another.
Yep.
So even from that alone, that is interesting to me.
Good. Wonderful,
Yeah,
Nadia. Thank you.
thank you.
And happy to answer questions. You're welcome to always reach out to us in mail or WhatsApp or LinkedIn or, you name it. So,
Thank
Lexi,
you. Thank
what
you.
do you
Hi,
think? Hey.
hello. Hey, thanks so much, Janelle and Chris. It's really nice to hear about the new setup. Yeah, I wasn't able actually to come last year because of the long program, so it's really nice to see that this has been adapted. So, hey, I'm curious, and maybe there's not like a definitive answer.
Mm-hmm.
But is the gathering outcome more this kind of like personal next steps and connecting with like-minded people, or has there been like previous years where there's an outcome of collective projects, like, or deeper
Mm-hmm.
collaborations where people are then going off and building something together?
So it's the latter. We tried, frankly, the first year we tried to like brainstorm projects to create, and only about two of those really worked because everyone's so busy, right? This is the thing. So we tried, instead of us trying to push the projects, we said, okay, how about if people get together and make those things happen? So one of the things we say is you're going to meet two or three people you will need to know, and you didn't know you're going to need to know them. And I think this has come up. I know many times we hear afterwards, like, oh yeah, I'm working with so and so, or I'm doing that with so and so, and so and so we don't have a way to track that exactly, but we do know that this occurs a lot, and I think this is very real for us. We hear that many, many, many times,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, and I guess it's very unpredictable, right? Because it's like the conversations that are provoked, like you cannot really plan and say, okay, yes, we anticipate X
yeah,
amount of people will make connections and do something after. Yeah, I totally
yeah,
understand. Okay,
sure,
but yeah, this is a nice answer. Thanks, Chris.
you're welcome. Well, thank you. That's very good. Any
I'd
other
like to just
questions?
add one thing if I can. This is Tom Robinson.
Tom, yeah, sure.
I
Hi.
don't have my camera on. I thought I would get in a little cardio during this, so I look like hell.
Nice.
It's not that I'm
Okay.
vain, but I just look like hell. Anyway, I just wanted to comment also on what you said, Lexi. In my experience, um, I was just reflecting, okay, what is it that makes it really unique? And it's a combination, but I think so it's hard to pick one thing that stands above everything, right? You've got really excellent speakers, you've got a really excellent process, which is put together to to help us think in different ways, in sort of uncomfortable ways or just to get out of our patterns. And then there's, of course, the eating and the beautiful location stuff. I think what is really unique on top of all that is you get in a conversation, or I found people are in a different frame of mind or heart to actually talk, right? So it's one thing to be in a room with five really interesting people, but in these gatherings, those people are also sort of like open and receptive and curious and passionate and sort of looking for meaning, sort of, I don't know how to really describe that any better than that, but it seems like we meet each other in a sort of a special frame, and it leads to really, really nice conversations, connections there, and also leads to connections that keep you in touch, in my experience, over the future. So that sounds a little bit mystical or something. I don't mean it to be creepy, but somehow it's a combination that feels great. It feels great, and I've made relationships or deepened relationships that I continue to see people I continue to see, and work with. So
Thanks, Tom. I really appreciate that. I'll pay you later. Okay, buddy. Thank you. That was a really good question. Like, so we get to ask quite a lot. And I think it's those if people who've come every single year and they say this is the one thing they won't miss. And they're kind of sad when they can, and we'll see how they like this year. So we think it's going to be pretty cool. So I think so. So I'm going to pop up the and I'm going to pop up the QR code again, just because there's a couple other little slides I'd like to share there with you. Let's see if I do this right this time. Did it work? Did it work?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Someone say something. Oh my, it's just like, so here's the QR code. Nadia, you want that? And you can grab that again. And then we good? Yeah. Okay. We also, oh, come on. We have a new podcast. Janelle.
We have a new podcast. It's been out, I think, 2 weeks, plus or minus. And what we've done is, well, we're really excited about it. What we've done is take the stage sessions from the last 5 years of the gathering and turn them from from video into audio. And kind of the mastermind behind all of this, working with me, is Kinney, who's often on these calls and quite silent, but she's helped us both to create the brand and the designs, and she's become a podcast editor in the process too. And so that's coming out right now every Wednesday on all of our social media, and you can follow it on most major platforms, Spotify, Apple, etc. That's the QR code takes you there too.
And you are on our
And these are we have monthly community calls. We do them every month. I say almost every month. I say that because we might skip one or two in the summer. We'll let you know in advance, but for the most part, we do these every month. We choose different topics. Sometimes we're interviewing somebody, sometimes it's workshop. Sometimes it's like today we're sharing something new with you. And so they're every month on our Luma. Again, QR code will take you there.
And almost finally.
And we've been making lots of things the last few months, so this is just to make sure that we share them. We're setting up a new newsletter, moving platforms from one to the other, but in the process, it's given us a lot more opportunity to do kind of more unique content. And so this is just, we didn't make a QR code for this one yet, but it's Your 2040 News at Substack. Or if you have Substack, you can go find us at Your 2040. But you can follow us there. It's free. You don't have to pay anything to follow it, but anyways, it's a fun new format of our newsletter and getting information out to you, and also unique writing.
Last but not least, this is
We hope that
we want
you
you,
will join
want
us
you to
this
join
year.
us, and we do gatherings for those who are here in Switzerland. We get together periodically walks and talks and drinks. And it's and this is actually the stable up the Cheese and Relata, where we also are fortunate in La Punt to have events. So we really do hope that you'll stay with us and join us. And normally there's those who haven't been on the call. We typically have also time but just to meet each other. This time we wanted to make sure that we had a chance to talk about what we're planning. So put the 3rd through the 6th of September into your diaries, and when you see more, make sure you sign up for that. We really hope that you will join us. And if you have any questions, you're totally welcome to ping them to any of us at any time. And if you know anyone who you think would be a perfect match for either a sponsor, donor, a dinner host, then please do let us know too, because we can't do this without financial support, and so we're always looking for that. And these days, it's getting a little tougher at the moment to find individuals who are willing to part with
Yeah.
some cash for something. Yeah. So, great. So I'm looking at team. Kenny, did I forget anything? Did we forget anything? All right. Thumbs up. Emily, what about you? Thumbs up. Janelle, I think we're doing good. All right. So the last is to say thank you, everybody, so very, very much for making the time here on this Tuesday evening to join us. Make sure you walk a lot like Steen's doing, like Tom was on his bike, drink a lot of water, eat an apple, and stay healthy and happy. And we'll see you very, very soon again.